So man, check out those lights. Anyway, the painter got here, and this right here is already better than what the other guys were doing. It's actually covering up stuff and taping off and masking up and like going to do this stuff properly. So it's going to park right here, and I couldn't be happier because he's doing already a better job than the last guys. So we'll update it, and we can't wait. Like, look at this. What kind of hack job is that? So this is what we're talking about right here. The amount of prep work that goes into starting your job. So in hindsight, when I seen the other painter not doing this, I should have exercised stop work authority and gave him the boot then. But we got Mr. Reliable over here. He's actually the guy that painted our house and fence and installed the fence for the house. And the only reason I didn't call him the first time was because I lost his phone number and could not find him. Had to do a lot of detective work to get that number back, but we got it. And this is definitely one of those cases where you don't have to trust the process because there's like 30 years of experience right there. So the color is already looking better. And it's the flat color that I wanted. And I'll do another video going over why we originally wanted this color. But it has a lot to do with photography of light, like the light reflection and whatnot. So I'm back at my arch nemesis. I have to get one item. I'm only going to get one item. Okay. I think I'm going to have to kick myself out of Home Depot. I went to get one thing. I got like 4 things. But in all fairness, it was things that I needed. So, yeah. You know what they should have? And I just thought about this. They should have like a kind of like a AA for Home Depot. That way, because like I'm recognizing that I have a problem. Like I really am. I cannot go to Home Depot and just get whatever it is I went to go get. I have to get like something else, or I'll see something. It's kind of like, ooh, squirrel, and then I'm distracted. And lucky for me, I went to go get what I originally planned to get. But instead of being smart and walking out, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. But yeah, I'm getting better though. I am getting better. So I want to go over what was accomplished today. Jaime, and let me give you a backstory on Jaime. Jaime, when I first bought my house, I commissioned him to paint my house. So he basically did my entire, like, upstairs, downstairs, front door, all the pop outs, like everything. And he gave me a price that was like unbeatable. Did my entire house, and he had the entire house done in about 2 days. Him and like 3 other guys. So this time, I called him and I said, hey, I hired a different painter. He was supposed to do drywall, insulation, and painting, and he messed up like big time. And he says, hey, what happened? You know, how come you didn't call me? And I was like, dude, I lost your number. It kind of is what it is. So I kind of already went over that. But long story short, I lost his number. And when I lost his number, I didn't really lose his number. I got a new phone. And when I got the new phone, all the contacts didn't transfer over. So, like, no big deal. But anyway, I had to, like, dig up an old phone, throw my SIM card in it, charge it, all that good nature, and then got his number back. So anyway, I call him up. I called him on, I believe it was either Friday or Saturday. And I called him and, you know, explained to him what was going on with the other painter and like how he messed up and all this and that. So he goes, hey, I can't make it out to you till about Wednesday or Thursday. Is that okay? And I was like, hey, that's fine. Like, I'm okay with putting the project on hold for a while. Like, whatever. So yesterday he calls me and he's like, hey, I cleared out some stuff. I can come and check it out. No, hold on. Anyway, I called him Saturday. He came out Saturday because he told me he was going to come Monday to look at it, but he came Saturday. And then he said he'd come out Wednesday to start working on it, Wednesday, Thursday. That turned into like, hey, I cleared some stuff out. I'm going to come take care of your project because, again, it's actually a fairly small project. So he comes out today by himself. So first thing, 8:30 in the morning, boom, he's here on time. Like, just as he said he would. I told him the color I wanted, the color code and all that stuff. He went and picked it up. Exactly what I asked for, you know, unlike the other contractor. Another thing he told me, he's like, hey, in this garage, he's like, it's not ideal. He's like, if, you know, the floors weren't already done and this was like a blank canvas, yeah, he would spray it. He's like, but in this one, to get a good coat, I mean, he did a very good job. He prepped everything. He taped everything off like he was supposed to. And he hand painted my entire garage in one day. So while he's doing it, he's like, hey, I know the guy that did your door trim, like, did a very terrible job. He's like, I'll fix that for you. So he recut everything. And this right here is from the other guy doing that. Because he's like, oh, I'll caulk everything for you. But he didn't do it. So anyway, Jaime fixed all this. Got it looking good. He fixed this one over here, which was the worst one because this one had like a 3/4 inch gap on this side. And then over here it had, I think when I measured it, it was like, let's say like 2/3. It was a pretty noticeable gap. But the guy was like, oh, I'm going to put caulk in there to fill those gaps. And he's like, this is what they do in a lot of homes. And I told him, I was like, that may be the case. But what I do know is they don't put screws in the actual like trim. They staple this down and then they put a dab of caulk over it to make it, you know, seamless, and then they paint over it, which the guy did not do. So that dude was pretty lame for that. And I'm actually gonna, like, I'm not gonna do like the other YouTubers, like, oh, I'm not gonna mention it. No, I'm gonna give all the guys information. I'm gonna put it out there so y'all know which contractor not to contact. And then I'll put Jaime's info in there and let you know, like, that is actually a true professional. And I hate that I didn't like think about it beforehand to call Jaime first, because I wouldn't have had any hiccups. This project would be like already into the next phase, which is getting this wall done with a mural kind of thing going on. But that's kind of where we are. So anyway, Jaime did all that. And then keep in mind, right now we're in that Southern California heat wave. So right now, I looked at my phone probably 10 minutes ago, and it's 109 degrees. And I'm just east of San Diego, probably about 15 minutes east of San Diego. So it's actually really, really hot. So anyway, here it is. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Jaime comes in. He's like, hey, dude. He's like, it's way too hot. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. So I was like, hey, that's fine. You know, like, cool. I tried to pay him. I said, hey, let me pay you for your day. And he's like, no. He's like, just pay me when I'm done. He's like, it's just like last time when I painted your entire house, or when I built your fence. Because keep in mind, Jaime built my fence all the way around the house, you know, in conjunction with me and my neighbor. You know, like, he took care of all that. I never paid this man until the job's complete, and he's always been that way. And I've always said, hey, let me pay you something. Unlike other contractors that want, like half on the first day and some other, like crappy reason of trying to get money out of you. Like Jaime's like, hey, when we're done, you'll tell me you love it. We'll do a walkthrough. We'll make sure everything's right. Then you pay me. And that's why I've always never had a problem paying this man or tipping him. And again, he took care of this. So he wrapped it up, called it a day. He left. He'll be back first thing in the morning to finish it off. And tomorrow, all he has to, he's going to finish. He's actually, him and my wife came up with the idea to paint the doors. So me being me, I was like, oh yeah, just make the trim since, the bottom border is black and the ceiling's black. I was like, just do the trim in black and then paint the door to match the wall. If you were to do that, I was like, it wasn't a big deal to me because, again, it's just a garage. It's not that big of a deal. And him and my wife kind of gave, man, you're a little, to look a little weird. I probably wouldn't do that. And I was like, okay, well, what do you think? And he goes, hey, like traditionally, he's like, you just paint the door and the trim to match. He's like, if you don't like it, I can paint the trim or whatever you want. But he's like, this is just like typically what you would see and what you would do. So we're going with that. And I am like breathing and foaming at the mouth and sweating really hard in this garage because when I say it is hot out here, it's hot. In fact, that car will be spending another night outside. I pulled it in last night and yeah, but it's going to spend another night outside, so it is what it is. He's going to come over, he's going to finish the doors, finish the trim, and then whatever touch-ups I see that may need to be done or like, anything that might need to be addressed, he's going to take care of it. And again, this guy has, I want to say at least 30 years of experience, like 30 years of taking care of a customer. I've been a customer of his. I've had my house 2 or 3 years now. And for every major project that I have in my house, paint-wise, fence-wise, he does some stuff. He's done quite a few little projects for me here and there. He's always taking care of it. And I couldn't be happier with him. I just hate that I had a brain fart and didn't contact him from the get-go. But I'll show you what I did with what else I did in here. While he was doing his thing, I was like, hey, you know what? I have this dead spot of light in my garage. And by dead spot, I mean, I've had these where I put them in over here. And then I got the other set that I put in over here. So between that, there's this line of darkness that, it wasn't a big deal, but it's pretty noticeable. So what I did was I installed this LED strip. Since I have the extra lights and the extra cord and all that, I went ahead and installed it right here. I tried to center it as best I can. It's a little crooked towards the end over there, as you can tell. But again, like, it's not that big a deal. Like, not that big a deal at all. You can see down there where, oh yeah, that does look pretty crooked. But again, not a big deal. But yeah, I installed that to get, just once I have the garage door down inside here, I'm going to have maximum coverage with light. I've already put out a few pictures on Instagram and other social media platforms with the car in the garage with the lights on it, and it just looks phenomenal. So with this extra strip of light, it's just going to be that much more brightness. Oh, and the other day, I did something pretty cool because these are actually detailing lights, like for detailing shops and stuff like that, and paint booths and whatnot. And I brought the car in after I washed it. So I went to a car wash, I washed it. I did like their little BS wax that they have at the car wash. Then I brought it home and I went back over it again with a hand rag. Then we turned around and it was me, my daughter who is 3, and my son who is 5. We waxed the car. So we applied the hand wax all over the car. I let it stay on the car, get a little hard, and then I, buffed it out as best I can. Then I went back over it with a ceramic coating. And when I had the car in here under the lights, after all that work had been done, we're talking like 3 or 4 hours of working on this car, like it just popped. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. So it looks pretty good, like really good. And I throw a ball of water at it to show you that water doesn't stick to it, but once I had it in here, the way the lights are angled and come down on the car, it really shows all the imperfections. So while the car is in here, I could be like, oh, I see where I left some wax, like right here. And I could just, like white, like it was so much easier, and like the clarity was just there. Like I could really like see more stuff because, the light's hitting it a certain way. The only thing that would make these lights cooler is if there was like some way that you could mount the lights, like recess them into the floor and have them shine up, because that would be pretty cool. But that's like, some Tony Stark type stuff right there, and I'm not trying to get into all that, but that would be pretty cool. Other than that, this is about ready to go. Stage 2 is, or I shouldn't have stage 2. I don't even know what stage I'm in right now. I just know we're at the point to where we're ready to get the rest of this thing going. Me and my wife are having a little bit of back and forth on how we're going to do the cabinets and stuff in here, because we don't want to put anything on this wall over here because of the painting that's going in. And then on this side, we're really limited with space on how we want to do everything, but we'll figure it out. It's just going to be, it's like Tetris. You just got to figure out where all the parts fit and then make it work. But other than that, that's where we are. And I think I'm going to go for a swim because I'm just burning up in here. I don't know how Jaime did it. I offered him to come in the house multiple times and cool off, and he would come in, use the bathroom, maybe take like a 30-second AC break, and then he'd jump right back out here and just get after it. And yeah, like I said, he's a phenomenal guy. Last time he came here, he brought his little daughter. She was, I think she was 3 at the time. So my daughter was looking for her, but she wasn't here today. And yeah. Oh, he even cleaned up 90% of the mess those guys made in here on these like baseboards. So like all down through here, with the exception of here, because this is like some type of concrete. You could scrape it up with like a chisel or something, but he didn't have that. But he went through and like cleaned up all the mess that the guy left here, and then painted these black for me. And I didn't even ask him to do that. And I can appreciate that. Like he just went back around and said, hey, this little border all the way around is going to look really good. I didn't ask him to paint this because I was planning on, we're planning on ripping this out and putting in a tankless hot water heater. But he did that, he took the time to do like the little things. And like, man, it's greatly appreciated. So yeah, in the description, I'm going to put Jaime's phone number. Make sure you call him in San Diego area for whatever. Because with him, if he can't do it, he knows a guy. And if he recommends somebody, it's because they're good. He's not going to recommend like some turd or something. Like he's genuinely a good dude. I'm also going to put the other guy's information in there. Don't call him. I do not recommend this guy. And yeah. But again, it's getting hot. I'm literally, man, the sweat is just falling off me. I might not even go swimming. I think I'm just going to go relax because it's too hot for a swim. Hi, mamas. Foreman of the job, and you been eating yogurt? Yeah, I can tell. I looked over the job, and even my son, when he came home, he's like, the garage is so bright, and it looks so much better, because, when it was in here, it was kind of dark and just miserable looking. But right now, I'm super excited, and I can't wait. All right, peace. Okay, so the paint is done. Paint's done. The lights are done. The garage door has been repaired, and the floors are done. I mean, I do need to mop them, but that's just a little bit of construction dust. Oh, and on the doors, so redid all the trim and got that all done. I just gotta wait for it to dry so I can put the weather stripping back in the door. But other than that, I'm gonna say this project is about, let's call it 80% done. We still have to get this back wall done with that mural, but with the little delays that we've had on this job, or on this project, I should say, my that got pushed out a little while. But I'm not really worried about it because it's not going to stop anything else that we got going on. And yeah, I'll start moving all my stuff back in here and putting everything back on the walls, and then I'll go and get some more cabinets and figure out like how I want to arrange all my tools. This is actually like the hardest part for any guy doing the garage. It's like, how do you want to set up your workstation for, you know, all your little projects and stuff, and then also to keep space for cars, because at some point in time, I would like to be able to park 2 cars in here. So in Texas, the garages are, in my opinion, way bigger. This is not too small of a garage, but it's small enough. But during a freak thunderstorm we had out here, it started hailing, and I was able to put my wife's Yukon in here and my R8 in here. My truck we just left outside because, you know, it's no big deal. It's just a work truck, but, you know, we were able to get the 2 cars that we value into here. But when we got them in here, it was tight, but I had a lot more going on. I had, you know, racks over here, then I had more racks over here, then, you know, I had a lot more going on. So now with that room freed up, we're able to do a little bit more in here. So it's still hot. It's I think when I left work it was 108, and it's ridiculously hot. I think it's supposed to be this hot until Saturday. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this wall over here done. Oh, I ran the garage door opener. It was originally, they had some wires coming out of the wall and it was right here, but we rerouted it and I put it over there. And then, you know, I just ran the cord up and stapled it down and tucked it all back under there. The RainSoft water softener, purifier, whatever you want to call that thing, I just ran that back up the wall, down the edge, and then back to here. Then I ran it to a protected plug up there, and I'm good with it. I'm so good with it that I'm done with it. And yeah, on to the next step. Honestly, I probably won't start doing the rest of the stuff till this weekend because I've gone back to work. We had like a 4-day weekend, and to be honest, like between going to work, my daughter just started school. She did her first day of school today. My son's been going back to school for about 3 weeks now. I'm getting to where I don't have time to invest in this except for on weekends. And even then, I want to prioritize, you know, like hanging out with him because, you know, you don't know how long you got left on this earth, so you might as well spend as much time as you can with them. And yeah, so hopefully I get this wrapped up pretty soon, but again, I don't anticipate jumping on it until the weekend. And even then, you know, they get what they get. But that's an update, and that's where we are. So here's a little montage of everything that's been done so far.